Good evening. You're very welcome to St. Joseph's Church here in Wilton again this evening as we celebrate the season of creation on a beautiful September evening yet again. In keeping with Pope Francis' encyclical Laudato Si', let us again honour and build a relationship with creation. St. Francis of Assisi reminds us that our common home is like a sister, with whom we share our life, and a beautiful mother who opens her arms to embrace us. What a description of creation. A sister with whom we share our life, and a mother, a beautiful mother, who opens her arms to embrace us. Pope Francis in Laudato Si', he quotes St. Francis as he says, "Praise to you, my Lord, through our sister and our Mother Earth, who sustains and governs us, and who produces various fruit with coloured flowers and herbs." Unfortunately, through environmental destruction, this sister now cries out to us because of the harm we've inflicted on her, by the very irresponsible use and abuse of the gifts bestowed by God through her. We perceive ourselves as lords and masters of creation. We feel entitled to plunder and to control it. This attitude is primarily driven by greed. This is the human factor. Having spent 6 days designing and producing creation, of which we are part, God decided to rest. And he decided that all he had made was good. On the 6th day, just the day before he rested, he created man and woman. And he gave us the sacred responsibility to care for the planet he had spent 6 days creating. He gave us a sacred responsibility, but he also gave us free will. Unfortunately, through the use of our free will, we have lost our way. And we have created grave damage to the planet. Now this earth, mistreated and abused, is lamenting. Pope Francis in Laudato Si' invites us. He invites us to listen. He invites us to see. And he invites us to reflect as individuals, as families, as local communities, and as nations. He is asking us to answer our call to ecological conversion. That's a big call. Our call to ecological conversion. While his encyclical recognizes the plunder and the destruction caused by humans and the dangers that are facing the planet, he also reminds us that humanity still has the ability to work together in building our common home. Men and women are still capable of intervening positively. So all is not lost. Human beings, while capable of the worst, are also capable of rising above themselves, choosing again what is good and making a new start. So through these words, Pope Francis is inviting us, rise above ourselves. Make that new beginning. All is not lost. So that really is what Laudato Si' is asking us to do. And that is what the season of creation is being celebrated for. It is giving us the opportunity of a new beginning. This is a call as Christians. It is our call to the gospel principles. And I suppose one of the most beautiful sayings in the gospel is, I have come that you may have life and have it to the full. That is probably the greatest statement of hope we are given through the gospel. I have come that you may have life and have it to the full. In those words, Jesus is telling us that God's wish for us is to live life to the full. He did not design creation to allow millions to starve to death. He did not design creation to have millions deprived of clean water. He did not create or design creation to see numerous birds and wildlife become extinct. He did not design creation to see the mass destruction of rainforests. He did not design creation to watch people gasp for a pure breath of air. Air pollution accounts for an estimated 5 million deaths per year. 5 million deaths, because they cannot achieve a clear breath of air. Death rates from air pollution are highest in the low to middle income countries, primarily in the low income countries because of the fuels being used in the homes, and in the middle income countries through the seriousness of industrialization. The average person takes between 17,280 breaths to 23,000 breaths a day. Imagine the average human being will breathe between 17,000 and 23,000 breaths a day. That's an awful lot of breaths. That's an awful lot of opportunity to breathe air pollution. Because breathing is something all of us do all of the time, we scarcely notice we're doing it. We're not aware of it. We're doing it on autopilot. How many of these breaths do we actually appreciate, consciously enjoy, and how many are we still enough to absorb the healing effects of the breath? How much are we aware of the life that each breath gives this body? Just remember, this breath gives life. That is how God designed it. In the words from the book of Genesis, "And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." So these 17,000 breaths a day make you and I that living soul that was designed by God. I would like to invite you during the month of September, as you celebrate the season of creation, to use your mindful practice to become aware of your breath, to notice your breath, to feel your breath, and above all, to be grateful for your breath. As you become aware of your breath, you become aware of the miracle of life. The miracle of life, that first breath you took as you entered this world, that last breath you will take as you exit this world. Right now you are somewhere between those two breaths, and only God knows where. This evening I would like to invite you to engage in a mindful practice to allow you to become aware of your breath, to enjoy that breath, and to feel grateful for it. So as we begin our meditation, beginning the meditation as we begin all meditations, becoming aware of our posture, feeling the feet on the ground, sitting in a dignified, upright position. Allowing the eyes to close gently, if that is comfortable. Noticing the stillness and noticing the silence. Of course, there may be sounds. The world is full of sounds. Dogs barking, bells ringing. Just noticing, not allowing the sounds to take our awareness away somewhere else. Just allowing the awareness to come to the breath. The breath is the anchor of all meditation. Breathing in, calming the body, and breathing out, calming the mind. Noticing maybe the abdomen as it rises on an in-breath and falls on the out-breath. Maybe counting the breaths can sometimes help to allow the awareness to rest. Of course, the mind wanders. That's fine. That's what minds do. That's what we have them trained to do. When the mind wanders, it is not a failure of mindfulness. Noticing the mind wandering and allowing it to come back, that's a moment of mindfulness. We allow the breath to be the center or the ground of meditation simply because as we breathe in, we have never taken this breath before. And as we breathe out, we will never let go of this breath again. We cannot breathe in the past and we cannot breathe in the future. We can only breathe in the present. Therefore, if our awareness is on this breath, our awareness is in the present. This breath that I am taking is one of the 17,000 I take each day. It is one of the 17,000 that keeps life in this body. Becoming aware of the pure breath, the oxygen that is coming into these lungs, that is giving life to this body, and developing that sense of gratitude for it. So just spending 5 minutes each day on a practice of this nature can certainly help us to become aware of our breath. It can help us to develop a gratitude for that breath. And it can certainly bring us to build a relationship with creation and the God who created us. So good evening and enjoy your mindful practice for the coming week.